Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Friday night's live stream with myself and Ghostdragonzw. Ghosty will not be here with us tonight. He is overnight in the hospital. He's okay. It's nothing emergent. He just is having a sleep study done. It's something to study the neurology in his brain and things that are going on with him while he's sleeping. He had one earlier in the week and didn't expect to need another one, but they told him yesterday that that's what it's going to be and it had to be tonight. So I am all by my lonesome, but I'm not lonely because I have you guys. I am very excited to be here. I did not plan to prepare much, guys, so we're just going to wing it tonight. 2 streams ago, I got several complaints that we were not organized. I think a lot of people didn't realize, people that aren't with me all the time don't realize that like we're just starting to do this new thing. And then this past week, I had 3 people say that we were too organized. So I don't know what you guys want. So I'm just going to wing it and fling it. There he is. There's Ghosty in the chat. That's a surprise. He said he cannot use the Wi-Fi there, so would not be here, but he found a way. Ghostdragonzw, what is up? I didn't see actually any of Ghost Dragon's comments. The first comment that popped in was Mike. And I was like, why is Mike? I thought Mike was saying he was, I don't know, guys. It's been a long week. Mike Roberts, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Blue Crossroads, what's up, Love Bug? Raymond, nice to see you. Urso, slow motion. Wow, we got the whole family here. We're just missing a few people. Yeah, so I really didn't plan or prepare. I'm slinging the paranormal. What's up, Roger Blair? I am aware a couple of you messaged me privately, and thank you for doing it privately. I do appreciate it, that my video on Clinton Road stopped at like 3.5 minutes before it ended. The good thing is that was like a few seconds, 50 or 60 seconds before the actual video ended. It's just me telling you guys to hype the video, subscribe, all that nonsense. I don't know why that's happening. I did have to switch to a free version of the editor I was using, so that might be it, but I will try going forward to do more of a preview as YouTube allows me to. Latro, hey, let him in. Peekaboo, I like your name. Chris Jarvis, hey, long time no speak. It's so good to see you all here tonight. Again, I really wasn't prepared. Ghosty and I were going to discuss just haunted places, and we're going to ask you guys what some of y'all's haunted places in your areas were. I was going to take a few notes because that is going to be an ongoing series here on this channel, America's Most Haunted Places and then World's Most Haunted Places. So, of course, I started with my beloved New Jersey, Clinton Road, a place that's very close I was going to say close to my heart, but I don't know about all that. You know how when you grow up with urban legends, though, and like, you know, when I was younger, I didn't realize not everyone had like Annie's Road, right? You know, Ryan, you know, for some reason, I just had a feeling. I had a feeling that Letterman was Ryan. And it's so funny, too, because on Fortnite, I have a mini Mothman as like my character companion, and I swear I was going to name it Ryan, and then I was like, well, he would never know that I named it Ryan unless I posted it on social media, and if I do that, I don't want it to be a thing, so I named him Roger instead. But I did think of you. It's good to see you guys, really. So yeah, just doing this new thing on Friday nights. I really do have to get into the groove of it. Oh, I can change his name. I think I'm gonna name it Ryan, and then I will send you a picture of it. Nutslab, what is up? Yes, I got the mini Mothman, and he wears a little hat. I was telling Let Him In, Ryan, that I'm going to name it Ryan. That was my first thought. I was like, I've got to do it. So yeah, I really got to get back in the groove of live streaming every week. I kind of fell off for a little bit. Latro, that would be amazing. Latro says, I'm bookmarking some videos that might be good material for you. Don't have email online at the moment. That would be perfect. I know in the past, I've actually got a lot of criticism for this, and that's okay. I understand it. People would send me cases they wanted me to cover or topics that they wanted me to discuss, but I just couldn't do it. Like, I already had my own stack of, you know, things that I wanted to do going forward. But now 5 years plus in, like, I am wide open to ideas, whatever you guys want to hear me talk about. Like, I'm good with that. I appreciate you guys hanging out on Tuesday nights. I would love to be there, but I go to bed really early with my little guy and I get up really early. I've tried to stay awake and go in and just like creep, and it just doesn't work for me. So that's the only reason I'm not there. And I really think nighttime works better than like a Monday morning. I honestly don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. Also, like I said last week, guys, when you're on your phone, if you can hype the video, my views went way down. Donations non-existent since I stopped Oracle. I'm reconfiguring. I'm not rebranding so much as I'm just like trying to do some new things. So I totally get it. It throws people off. Sucks, but it throws people off. But I was going somewhere with that. We'll get back to that thought. I live in a 200-year-old house. I don't even have to get off my couch for haunted. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. My house isn't that old, but it was pretty haunted when we first moved in. Oh, that's where my thought went. The reconfiguring and the kind of redoing everything. I would love to see you guys send things in. The hype got my videos. My videos go from honestly like 50 to like 120 views a week, maybe. From hyping the video, you guys got me on the last phone call video. Within 48 hours, I had about 900 and some odd views. That's how much hyping helps. So take that for what it's worth, guys. I mean, if you do nothing else, please hype it. I know a lot of people don't share out. You know, I really would appreciate if you guys can do that. Been watching a few tarot channels lately due to somebody I met a few weeks ago. Yeah, tarot is a lot different from Oracle. I know sometimes I get people that will be like, you know, your readings are a little general. It doesn't happen often. Most people are, you know, blown away and impressed by my readings. I'm still doing them privately. But it's very, very different. Oracle's ancient too, but the cards aren't, right? So tarot is ancient. Every single card has a specific energy, meaning, feeling, chakra. Like there's a history to each card, right? So Oracle, it's like it's subjective to not only the author, but the reader. So that's why with Oracle, and plus, like when I'm telling you guys, like when I do the December monthlies, and I'm like end of November, beginning of December, mid-December, end of December, beginning of January. Those are the 3 parts of the month I cover. It's like any single person connected to use any action that they take within that time frame could change everything. I mean, so I try to be as on point and like specific as possible, but I can't be like, you know, a lady named Jane with blonde hair and blue eyes is going to come into your life at 11 p.m. I think on like October 10th, I think some people, that's what they expect when they hear Oracle reading, and they're so disappointed when that's not what it is, but it's just not what it is. Anyway, guys, if Jules comes in tonight, please be sure to wish her a happy belated birthday. I'm hoping she comes in. Her birthday was yesterday. The same as my daughter, Miss Eliana, turned 17 yesterday, if you can believe it. My oldest turned 26, and Damien turned 21. Now she's 17. Logan turned 24 in April. What is happening? Like I blinked and I'm old suddenly. Oh, Mike, I hear that. Yeah, I definitely know the feeling of the furnace. I don't know how the hype thing works, because you think as a creator that's been on YouTube for 5+ years, they would have sent me something explaining the hype. But no, I found out from my friend KC. And I looked into it myself. I really didn't understand the concept. I just know that when I'm watching someone who has like under 100K subscribers, I can hype it. But I don't know how to do it. I just know it pops up and says, do you want to hype this video or something? And you click it. October what? 50 next year. Sheesh, you have such young energy. I never think of anybody in here as like older than me. Just by like vibe. Like I thought Monica, like her energy was that of like a 19-year-old girl. And she's like a 70-something-year-old woman. When I first saw her face to face, I couldn't believe it because she was so young. Roger Blair, I don't know. Last year she had some tragedy with her parent dying. And she said that she just needed about a month's break and she would be back. And she never got back to me, never came back. I think what happened, to be honest, is that harassment. There was one stream where somebody was really bullying and harassing her, and she just was really I don't want to say afraid of it, but it made her so uncomfortable. I think she realized that she didn't want to be out in front like that. I wish she had told me that so I could have prepared better, but I certainly understand. I was called pathetic and useless today because I posted a short saying, if when you walk into a room, the vibe changes to anything other than love, don't walk in that room. And some dude was like, another pathetic, useless wannabe influencer. People are cruel, and I deal with that stuff every single day, mainly on YouTube. I got to be honest. YouTube, I check my comments. I don't check them every day anymore. I check them maybe once a week, every other week, because out of 10 comments, 6 of them will be somebody just being horrific. Arrested for alcohol, then being older. Yeah, Nutslap, we're the same age. I'm a month older than you, actually. Netter, not much, just me rambling and scrambling. Ghosty isn't here tonight, and I really didn't have much prepared as far as what to talk about. I figured we could hype the video or die. That's what you missed. I figured we could talk a little bit about haunted places or, just whatever. I was trying to go out of my way not to make this like a hangout kind of live stream, but then I was like, why not? Like, we can discuss the paranormal and still chill. I'm just having such major issues with YouTube right now. The fact that I surpassed my subscriber counts almost on TikTok, and I've only been on TikTok posting regularly for like 8 months, it just messes with my mind. But then I got to remember, like, YouTube is a whole different platform. I just put so much work into this channel. I just can't wait to gain a little bit more recognition, but I think I need to get more solid footing first. I kind of fell back a little bit with everything that was going on with Oracle. It just wasn't working anymore, and it might still come back at some point. I'm not really sure, but for now, I just need to step away from it. It was becoming so draining for me, and I was just becoming really miserable about that stream. People have said even in the last few oracles that I did, I just wasn't like here. I was like, just want it to be done. And that's not the energy I want to bring into anything that I'm doing. So it was hard for me to not do that stream. I've been doing it for so long, and like we were such like a little family in there. How many of y'all have a Bloods Point that's haunted with kids pushing a car? Okay, this will be the starts of the conversation because I have something funny about that. Letterman says you have to find your true north, Gemma. Find something you're passionate about and stick with it. Well, that's what happened. I'm so passionate about the paranormal, but you have to understand, like, being kicked around the way that I've been. And really, it's a financial thing. I'm just going to be honest. Like, the way this all went down for me financially, it pissed me off. It pissed me off. So I moved on to something else I'm passionate about on my other platforms, but it's very, it's politics and religion. So I'm like, now I'm doing 2 separate things, but I think I'm happier that way because I get to speak on multiple things that I'm passionate about, and I don't have to alienate anyone. Because if I started bringing that stuff over here now, I would lose half my audience, So I'm just trying to find a balance, man. My true north. So Mike says, I'll say it again. How many of y'all have a Bloods Point that's haunted with kids pushing a car? Got 2 here in Illinois. Heard of it in another state. I can't remember which. Okay. So in the video I did this past Tuesday that I put out on Clinton Road, it's not called Bloods Point, but it's called Annie's Road. And one of the legends is that kids will come and not only push your car, but like attack it. And also on Clinton Road, there's a little boy who's said to leave handprints on your car. I didn't get into all the legends there. There's also Heartbeat Road. New Jersey's really a strange place. Like, I don't know if y'all heard of the magazine Weird New Jersey. So New Jersey is really weird. Like, there's this one dude in South Jersey who his entire van is just covered in buttons, like pin buttons that you like pin on your backpack or on your shirt and stuff. And yeah, he just drives around like the state. But the Pine Barrens are infamous, not just with the Jersey Devil, but there are all kinds of stories that come out of there. And we also have, we call it, I know it's not PC, so bear with me in the comments, but we always called it Midgetville. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this place, but it's actually a little town. I don't know the actual name of it. I think it's near West Milford somewhere. Not that that means anything to most of y'all. Where P.T. Barnum built like a little city or a little town of like tiny houses for like the vertically challenged people. Midgets, which is why we call it Midgetville. And they're like, they like go after you. Like we used to drive through there as a teenager. Like we were very, very disrespectful. And we used to drive through there, and just driving through there, not even saying anything, not speeding, like just driving through. Like I never understood it when I was younger. They would come out and throw like beer bottles at our car. Like they like wanted to hurt us. But I guess like it was 1997 and it's like we're still looking at them like freak shows. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of see their side of it too. But when I was younger, you know what scared me the most? I always called them the Jackson Fives, but they're actually called the Jackson Whites. And they have a whole town. They're albinos, and they have a whole town. And they are incredibly violent. I don't mean albino people in general are incredibly violent. The ones that are in New Jersey, though, in this town, they are always in trouble for like really hurting people. And it's just crazy. Yes, a small gathering, half men, a little town. I'd like to know how cryptids have glowing eyes when the eye is a light receptor. I don't know, but I believe a lot of them do. But that's the thing, though. What is cryptid? You know, what is cryptid? That's a name that we human beings gave it. I truly believe, particularly with like the Mothman and Bigfoot, that there is a paranormal and or supernatural element to that. I think that's why we never find Bigfoot. You know, they go in and out of dimensions through portals or however they do it so quickly that like otherwise we'd find dead bodies, we'd find bones, we'd find poop, like we'd find something. Not that we know the difference between bear poop and Bigfoot poop, but you know what I mean? There has to be something supernatural around it, in my opinion. So maybe that's how, because the laws of physics and light receptors, is that the same throughout dimensions, throughout realms, throughout time and space? And I don't know, you know? There were a couple of guys who caught a picture of the Jersey Devil and a documentary crew went to interview them. It's on YouTube. Yeah. I still want to do a spirit call and a devil hunt. Someday I'll be able to do it. Blood's Point. That just sounds crazy. So there was this place I used to pass every day on my way home from middle school. And we would call it Hell's, what would we call it? The Gates of Hell. And there'd be like graffiti. It's just a bunch of underground tunnels, which actually it's really dangerous because the tunnels lead to Weaselbrook Park, which there's like a small, like, I don't want to say stream because it's bigger than that goes through there. And kids have actually drowned coming through those tunnel systems and like a sudden downpour and then they're trapped. But when I was younger, I remember going in there one time. It was behind a path mark on Paulison Ave in Clifton, New Jersey. And you can look this up. I had no idea this was an actual, like, well-known, famous haunted place. I went in there one time when I was like 11 or 12. And because of me being me, I saw so much like actual... It wasn't human demonic stuff, like the spray painting and the symbols and the ritual candles and everything that was left behind. It was true demonic activity. And I was so traumatized for, years. I wouldn't even go to that grocery store anymore with my parents. Like I would, and turns out it really is considered an actual gate or portal to hell. It's like one of the famous ones. Right in the town I grew up in. Bloods Point Road has a little cemetery, which A bus of kids drove off the bridge and hit by a train. That is, it's like so cliche though, right? But you have to think, where does it come from? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how does almost every state have a story like this or a legend like this? There has to be some place where it actually happened. I mean, in my opinion, right? Me and my old lady drove out there one night, heard and seen the light from a train, but it just disappeared. Shining light onto the eyes doesn't count. I wonder about these woods behind my house. So I went to a birthday party for my little guy. One of his classmates was turning 7. She's the cutest little girl. I'm actually friends. Her mom is one of the mom friends that I have, the 3 or 4. And I was just standing there, you know, looking up, and my girl came up to me and she's like, "Are you seeing something?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." I definitely was. There were 2 little girls who were killed somewhere in like the woods, but those, like, all the woods were in the town that I live in connect, and they all like kind of culminate at the reservoir, which is behind my house. The brook, like, runoff from the reservoir runs right through my yard. And ever since, these girls have been with me, and I don't know what they want me to do. But she was freaking out. I just gave her 2 first names, and I was like, that's all, like, I know. And she ended up Googling it, and these 2 little girls went missing in like the 80s, right around her house. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy. So my new book was supposed to release around Halloween. What did I call it? Uninvited Visitors, Encounters with Extraterrestrial Entities. But my publisher said he's really, like, they're really backed up. So it's going to be being released in December, which is fine. I started to write another one called, it's very cliche, and it's just a working title, but Scary Fairies. So terrifying encounters with the Fae. You guys all seem to love the encounter books. I do want to do a more in-depth book. So, like, not just encounter, like the BEK book I did, Danger at Your Door, like that was like a well-researched, it took me like a year to a year and a half to write it. These encounters I just bang out in like a month, 2 months, but I am trying to think of a good subject that I know a lot of people want to hear about, that I'm going to take the time and, like, while I'm writing all these other books and like banging them out, stay focused on this one and like give y'all like Shadow Entities, Sleep Paralysis and Beyond, Missing the Fae Theory, and Danger at Your Door. Those 3 books took me a year to a year and a half each, because I went so in depth on the research. But then I just realized it's so much faster to just write encounters, but I want to get back to. So I'm trying to think of a good subject, because Shadow Entities and BEK are like my big 2. So I'm thinking, like, what else could I write a book about that so many people want to know about, but there's not much information out there. I was thinking the Glimmer Man, the predator entity, but then I was like, can I fill a book? You know, I might accept that challenge from myself, that I'm going to write a whole book, not just encounters, but a whole book about the Glimmer Man. Yeah. For my birthday in March, maybe I'll release it. It is odd how multiple states have some story in some circumstances, same circumstances, which isn't possible. Well, Urso, I don't know if you've read any of my books. If you haven't, no shade. But like I say in almost all of them, one of the main reasons I believe in the phenomenon of the black-eyed kids, or that shadow entities and sleep paralysis is not just a medical thing, like a brain misfire, like science says, right? Because if you think about, for millennium, since the beginning of time even, I know a lot of people think that the BEK is a new phenomenon that started with the internet and it's an urban legend. That is not true. In the book, Danger at Your Door, I went back as far as I can go, and I found ancient civilizations that used to build statues of they used to use like marble or like some kind of very, very pale stone, and they would carve out children, and they would go out of their way to find obsidian to use as the eyes. And they would keep these statues in their villages to ward off, to kind of say, like, we're on your side. You know, we honor you here. I mean, ancient civilizations. So my thing was, how is it that before the internet, before the age of technology, before telephones and televisions, back in the 1400s, 15, 16, 17, 1800s, how was it that thousands of people across the world we're all seeing this and experiencing the same exact thing with the same exact creatures and entities, telling the same exact stories, all independent of one another and within decades and centuries. To me, that's more unbelievable than the fact that they exist at all. Mike Roberts, I covered that in Missing the Fae Theory. I talked about where some fairy tales come from, how they come from real stories, like Hansel and Gretel, my favorite fairy tale when I was a little girl, because I always imagined that my dad would leave me in the woods and like leave me alone. So I didn't have to deal with my stepmother, but that's a story for another time. I loved that story. And it turns out, I don't remember if it was the 1300s or 1913. I think it was the 1300s. There was like a famine. And people were abandoning their children in the woods. They were eating their children and they were selling their children to like bakers and butchers because they couldn't afford to feed them. And if they had a lot of kids back then. So if they had 10 kids and 2 parents, that's 12 people. If they got rid of the kids, they only have to worry about feeding themselves. I know it's sick, but that's actually where Hansel and Gretel came from. I could fill one on that, but it would have one hell of a twist. I would also probably be sent to Club Fed for violation of my security clearance. I know, it drives me nuts. That's why I can't wait to meet you in person so you can tell me all your secrets. Black eye is an artistic thing. I'd make them deep blue. Yeah, but that's the thing. Why all black? Why inhuman? Unless I believe it was something they were seeing, that they were interacting with. There are also these Native American legends. I can't remember which tribe, but it's in the book. Where they had this creature. Oh, I forgot what it's called off the top of my head, but it's in one of my books. I think BEK book. They had these creatures that it's like you couldn't really see them. They'd come at nights. You'd hear a knock at your door. I guess they had huts or whatever back then. And whoever would answer the door, it's like the next day. I'm trying to think of exactly how it went. So give me a second. Okay. So they would hear something lurking around their house or like knocks on the doors and windows. Nobody would ever answer. But then the next day, one of the children in that house would go missing. And within a couple of days, nobody would go look for the child because they already knew what was going to happen. The child would come out of the woods looking pale, eyes all black, and it would attack somehow the rest of the village and turn everyone else into these pale, black-eyed zombies. Now, is this absolutely true? I don't know. But I know in this one particular native tribe that I wrote about in the book, that is what they believe the BEK are. Octar, OCHTAR, Octar, something like that is what they called it. Yeah. Tommy knockers. Look at how 40,000-year-old cave paintings are similar when there's no way the makers would have met each other. Yes, that is what I mean. That is way too much of coincidence for me. You know, like maybe one explorer saw it and like copied it and brought it back home. But like for it to be everywhere, do you know what I'm saying? Like with the BEK specifically, you guys know I'm obsessed with that phenomenon. But like with the BEK specifically, it frustrates me to no end because everyone really believes that Brian Bethel's account was the first one. Now, granted, that's the first one I ever heard about, too. I was watching Monsters and Mysteries in America in 2013 in the midst of my addiction, just sitting there one night, messed up and chilling, and I came across it, and I couldn't. For a year after that, I was obsessed with everything BEK. And then, you know, eventually the obsession faded until I got into the YouTube paranormal community. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a book about this. Tommy knockers. Sounds like the Baycock in a way. They were seen as zombies as well. So I never answered my door. I thought seeing was there first. So my doctor that I see once a month, his name is Dr. Bells. And he has this thick, I don't know if it's Ukrainian or Russian, some accent. And he was like, oh, so you're a writer. Like I was talking to him and he's like, which one of your books do you recommend most? Because I have 14 books out right now, about to be 15. I'm like, Danger at Your Door. That's the one that sells the best. And everyone seems to really like that one. And that's my favorite that I wrote. He gets this book and he's like, can I just tell you, I only got halfway through your book because now at nighttime, I am paranoid that little kids with black eyes are surrounding my house. He's like, I couldn't read it. He's like, it's great and everything. He's like, but he's like, I'm going to have to get another one so I can read it all the way through. He's like, I refuse to read any more of that book because that phenomenon is absolutely terrifying. He's like, especially the fact that I have kids in my house. I'm like, yeah, like they usually only come when you're alone. But what they'll also do is like, if the other person's sleeping, they'll somehow keep that person sleeping and unable to be woken up. They will somehow put fear into your animals and pets so that they don't interfere. And I've even seen, in one case where the husband was in the shower, it was Halloween night and the husband was in the shower and the husband like zoned out and was in the shower for like the entire experience that the wife had, where like normally his shower would be like 10 minutes. He was in there for like an hour and a half while like these BEK knocked on the windows and like, you know, terrorized this woman. And when he got out, he thought it had only been like 15 minutes. Great Famine. That might be it. I remember the number 13, but it could have been chapter 13 in my book for all we know. Lotus girl, what's up, girl? How you doing? Ghosty is having a sleep study done tonight, so I figured I'd take the hour and catch up with my crew. I miss all of you guys a lot, and I am sorry that we don't get to spend as much time together, but, you know, I will find my footing, my true north, as Ryan said. I'm just confused about so many things right now, and really discouraged with YouTube, but we'll get there. I think AI replacing my incredibly lucrative writing job was like the start of the downfall for me. And then like people, not you guys, but like people that come in afterwards would get in my comments and make me feel bad for asking for donations. So then I stopped making, like, it's just been a whole ordeal. So I wanted to wait till I was ready to start streaming again. How do you not see? Oh, maybe she has you blocked. Creep. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Lotus, do you see Netter? He says he doesn't see you. Thank you, Blue. Oh, you weren't talking about my videos. I just assume I'm being complimented. By the way, guys, if you guys notice, I haven't been wearing the wigs. My hair grew back. Thanks in part to some stuff Lotus sent me. For some reason, Lotus, it's funny because are you on like a tablet or something? Because it's slow motion too. You guys have like this little symbol next to your names. Bro, the deals on the Amazon Black Friday right now, I could have done all of my Christmas shopping. If I had like an extra $500, I could have gotten everything. With the way their deals are now, literally everything on my list. TV, that's what it is. Okay. Because it's showing like Lotus and slow motion, you're on the laptop. They have this little like rectangle. StreamYard even changed a lot. It's like, do you want horizontal or vertical? Or like they have this thing where like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's two different screens, but it's like the same screen. Now I accidentally lost you guys. Let me try to get you back. There it is. It's just everything's so different. There's 2 live streams going. I knew that was going to happen. What happened was I let my son make a profile on my laptop. And when he did, he didn't switch me back into my profile. So I didn't know I was on his profile. So when I went to get into StreamYard, it was like, you know, you have to sign in, and Facebook, sign in, YouTube, sign in. I'm like, well, why? 5 years I've been doing this. I've never had to sign in. And I made a stream, but Ghostdragonzw assured me he got rid of it. Maybe he didn't. All right, that would be cool. Everyone has 2 chat rooms now. Oh, maybe that's it. It's too much. I just can't wait until I am financially sound and stable. And don't worry, when I get super duper famous or infamous, I'm going to remember you guys and I'm going to send you all like a small island or something. So don't worry about it. You're all going to come work at my spiritual retreat. I will find a job for each and every one of y'all. It's StreamYard. Okay, so I don't have to yell at Ghosty. Bless his heart. Fresno Walkers. Oh, what were they called? They were called the Walkers, but they were called something else too. The Nightcrawlers, the Fresno Nightcrawlers. I covered them in a video. No, nobody ever, like, as far as I'm aware. Let me see. Images. Okay. A cryptid first documented in Fresno, California. Semi-humanoid, white in color, long leg, and typically spotted in pairs. I was watching something recently that reminded me of those things. Dang it. What was it? I don't know. I'll have to get back to you, but speaking of well, not really because it's nonfiction, but anyone else watching Welcome to Derry? If you're not watching it, I don't know what you're doing with your life, to be honest. Mama Cindy, what's up, girl? Yeah, I tried to do a part 2 on my video about the crawlers because I wasn't sure if they were the same thing as pale crawlers. I think they're the same thing. I think Fresno just like kind of like gave it their own name, because when I compared the pale crawlers that we've been discussing here basically since the beginning of my channel to the Fresno night crawlers, which I covered like 2 or 3 years ago, they're like exactly the same almost. Oh, Lotus, it is amazing. It is so good. It's a little like within the first 10 minutes when they show an actual baby coming out of a hooey, it was a lot, but other than that, it's like super interesting. So it's like the grandparents of the kids from the movie. So it's not like Mike Hanlon's dad, it's about his grandpa. And it's about Stan's grandpa. Yeah. So it's a prequel, but like it does relate to the movie. I don't know. It's really cool. Pale crawlers are different and fast walkers are UFOs. Okay, so what, in your opinion, is the difference between the pale crawlers and the Fresno night crawlers? Because they're called the night crawlers. Maybe they're called fast walkers and I just never heard of it. Good luck with that, Mike. You know, I don't watch many shows. I normally don't watch. I watched Interview with the Vampire, the TV show when that came out. I watched Evil Lives Here and American Monster, and then Welcome to Derry. I really don't watch like shows like that. A fast walker is an aerial UFO, so it's not even a thing. Oh, okay. I didn't see anyone bring up fast walker. Walk faster. Let him in. That's a good question. Since I plan on him being my future ex-husband, I will ask him for you. I don't know. It's 8:30 at night. It's really dark outside. And there are woods everywhere. So he had to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Nuts Up. It's really good. Okay, fast walkers is a term World War II pilots used for UFOs on radio. Where can I stream that? Can I stream it? Archive 81. Okay. I don't really remember. I just remember making the comparison in the video. No arms or torso. Jeez. Hey, Mark. Netter Nuts Up tells me that all the time. But I'm like, yeah, I'd have to go out by myself. My husband's not going to, like, support me. Maybe I will. I know who would go with me. My sister would do it. If I talked to her and promised her, like, some wine, she would go out there with me. Netflix, I'll check it out. I don't know who D is. Hell yeah, I'm afraid. There's bears and coyotes out there. There's like a 900-pound daddy bear out there right now. I don't even like those woods in the daytime. There's lots of dead people out there. Lots. Who is D? I gotta be honest, and this is just a general statement because I obviously don't know all of them. Tennille, you might not be, because I know a couple people said that they don't see you. I have not had good experiences with the female paranormal investigators and researchers on YouTube. I've had very bad experiences with pretty much every single one of them. One of them stopped me from going to, I don't remember what it was, some huge paranormal event that like a lot of women were not invited to, and I was invited to it 3 years ago. I called up this chick that I thought was mentoring me. I thought she was my friend, and I was like, hey, guess I got invited. She was like, why did you get invited? She got really nasty, and within 10 minutes, I got a phone call saying, oh, we're sorry. We thought that we could use you, but we actually can't. So maybe next year. And I went back to her. I'm like, did you call them and ask them why they invited me? And she's like, oh, yeah, I was just trying to do you a favor to make sure that, like, you knew what you were getting into. Totally blocked me. I got into an epic behind-the-scene fights with someone on SOR when I was over there. There's someone that was given a show over me that I was so pissed off because she is 100% not what she says she is. And she gains all this notoriety for doing this thing. And she just isn't that. Then I had What's-Her-Face steal my idea. She was rude and sarcastic to me publicly in the live stream. And then the very next day went and started doing free tarot live. I have not had good experiences. That's why I stick with the guys. No, I really do. I've had horrible experiences with the women. But that's my life. That's like my real life too. I've always gotten along better with men. I was raised by my dad and 5 of his best friends, so it's not a surprise. I mean, I guess I would. I don't know. I guess the juice would have to be worth the squeeze, though. Do you know what I mean? I don't really watch YouTube. I'm going to have to start checking out some of these people. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting to a point where I'm able to travel a little bit for investigations. I mean, I've been invited to go on many, but there's always this underlying tone to the invitations that I don't really like. So I was thinking about getting like my own crew of people together that I trust, like guys that I can trust, and like going out like that. YT Skizzle. Wait, let me write some of these down. You know, it's not, I don't want to go out and like pretend to be a cryptid huntress or anything. Oh, wow. There's a video showing she used a mask for a Dogman video. Yeah, slow motion, that's exactly it. Guys don't generally stab you in the back. You usually see the knife coming. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I hate, like, that we don't all live closer. Because, like, I would go out with you guys into those woods. Any one of you, I would go out. Tennille, I would go out with Tennille. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like on YouTube, I've just had nothing but bad experiences with the female content creators and live streamers. Black Mass Paranormal. You got to have some balls to fake stuff on the internet these days, though. I would not. I couldn't. I would be too scared of being exposed. Yeah, I could do that. Well, I was making a reference to someone I really can't stand. Yeah, Lotus. It's just, you know, I'm just not female's cup of tea. I was very lucky to find you and your sister and a couple others, because that might work if you get on the phone with me and then we can both go. Like, I'll use something else to film and then you can talk to me the whole time. Talk me through it. But listen, you guys, when I say what I'm about to say, think about all the things I've told you I've experienced and how much I haven't talked about yet. I may be a little bit afraid of the dark. Just a little bit. I'm afraid of the dark, like big time. I sleep with the bathroom light on. So cryptids, and I think that's the problem, right? Like, that's what pissed me off about Oracle. Like, I was so genuine, on point. You guys know I barely ever got anything wrong, but it's like so many other people had left a bad taste in their mouths with faking things and being disingenuous and dishonest, that it made people like me look like I was doing the exact same thing. And I think that's a lot of the reason my growth in this community was stunted. Not to mention all the hate aimed at me from the other women. I will. Slow motion says, I'll go into the woods with you, Gem. I will wave my walking stick vigorously at those BKs. More things come out in the night. That's another thing too. Like, I want to use, I want to get a little bit more equipment. Like, I have a really good audio recorder. I don't remember which one I have, but I remember looking up which one the Ghost Adventures use. Because I'll be able to see what's out there, but the people watching won't, right? So I told Ghost Dragons one time, I was like, I'm just going to go out in the late afternoon, right as it's about to get dark, and be out there in the dark. I'll have a couple of flashlights and just sit on a rock and like set up and just chill and like talk to the spirits. And he's like, if you don't do that the right way, you're going to come off as really fake, because nobody else is going to be able to hear the other side of the conversation. I'm like, yeah, but if people trust me, and he's like, yeah, but the people that are randomly coming across it don't know you. So that's why I never did that. Latro. There may be things in the dark afraid of you. Oh, I'm sure there are. There's this thing that runs the perimeter of my house because I blocked it from getting in. So now, instead of running all over the woods, it just runs back and forth at the perimeter that I put up. It's like, main mission is to get onto my property. Because it can't. So it backfired on me, because now it's hyper focused on my house and me instead of roaming everywhere. Scarlet and Shotzi. I'm writing all these down. Paranormal. Mike, that would be awesome. Mark, I hope you're feeling well. It's good to see you. It's good to see all of you. New color night vision cameras. I don't watch the paranormal ghost hunting shows either, though. The only ones I watch, because I can tell when someone's being inauthentic. The only one I watch is Ghost Adventures. I used to watch Ghost Brothers, but they're off air now. Yeah, Ghost Adventures, and I was watching The Dead Files. Cindy Keza just rubs me the wrong way. It's not that she's not good at what she does. I don't know her personally or have anything against her. I just feel like, for a medium, she had to have grown up seeing these things, right? Like I did. But like, the minute she even senses like a demonic presence, she's like, nope, can't be here, gotta go. And she like refuses to investigate. And for me, that's like, man, if I was on a network show being paid thousands of dollars per episode, you wouldn't be able to stop me from going into those places. But for that, I need an agent, and for that, I need $1,500 a month. I got paid from YouTube today. I made $102. I barely covered the $100 that you have to have for them to pay you. So like, I'm trying to kind of rebuild from the ground up. 3 years ago, I was making $400, $500, $600 a month that I was getting. So it's been a hard fall for me, guys. So I appreciate your patience and like sticking by me and standing with me and just being really cool about all of the changes. Scripted for drama and fan hype. Yeah. I just, you know, I get frustrated. And it's probably a little jealousy too, right? Because I'm like, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Yeah, lateral, like, that's literally it. So when I was doing Oracle, like, I'm just barely covering it. I really need to do something bigger, and I try to do things better, but better costs money too. Like, I want to get a teleprompter, so I'm not like looking down and reading, right? I want to do so many things, and I just know I'm going to be able to do them. I have so many ideas, especially like memberships, Patreon. I've got some things in the works there. It's taking a little longer than expected, but it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. Jules didn't come in. I wanted to wish her a happy birthday. Better than a sharp stick in the eye. That's why I trade. Good, Mark. I'm glad to hear it. We're going to end in about 5 minutes. Ryan, it's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I'm also waiting for the History Channel to get back at me about the Glimmerman episode I did with them. So I should probably reach out to her and email her as well. And I'll keep you guys posted with the new book. I normally do my updates through YouTube Shorts, but I title them updates. So if you're not someone who normally watches my shorts, or if you don't like, whatever I might be doing, that's cool. But if you see a short titled update, watch it, because it normally tells you like the video is going to be out at this time instead of this time. Or do you know what I'm saying? Like there's things that I'm trying to update you guys about that, like, a lot of people afterwards would be like, I don't understand, like, why did this happen, or why didn't this happen at this time, like you said. And it's like, well, I did update you guys. I know it's impossible to keep up with everything, but that's my best way to communicate with you guys, is through the YouTube Shorts. I know, Ryan, and I wasn't sure if you still had the same phone number. And also, like, I always feel weird about texting someone who's going through something like that, because I'm like, I know me, the last thing I want to do is have a conversation. Like, the last thing I want to do is tell someone I'm fine, or tell someone I'm not fine and then break down, because I feel like then I'm burdening somebody. So I overthink everything, which is why I don't talk on the phone. But that's also why I haven't reached out. Thank you, Miss Tennille. Mike Roberts says, I know you're not much of a gamer, but there's a big following for horror games, especially with you doing the paranormal. You can tie in real stories with it. That's actually a really good idea. I've been saying it for months, I know, but I want to do reactions. I actually am a pretty good video game player, if I do say so myself. And I actually like watching, there's this one young man named Kalis who RJ's like obsessed with. And he plays all those games. He's got, I think, across 6 different YouTube channels, something like 100 million subscribers. He lives in like a $5 million mansion in LA, and like he's doing his thing at like 22 years old. But I enjoy watching him. So I'm like, all right, got to get a few bucks. Like, at first I would need a gaming PC, which I don't have. But that is something to think about in the future, because I love video games. Kareem, what is up? Well, it's Kalis. I'll spell it. Nope, that's not spelled right. So everybody, I want to introduce y'all to somebody, because we're all gemstones here. I don't know why that did it twice. I only did it once. Kareem is someone that I knew back in elementary school, and we were friends. And it was really funny because he reached out to me about a week ago, and he was like, does this name ring a bell? And I was like, how could I possibly forget? We were like such good friends. And it's like crazy to run into someone that I knew when I was like 8 years old. Do you know what I mean? But it was pretty awesome. And I'm really glad that you stopped in. Kareem, I'm actually about to end. But it was funny because I thought I was a holy terror as a child. And he was like, no, you were really kind to me, and I never forgot how nice you were. And I'm like, all right, Latra. Well, if you don't have email, though, how could I get a hold of you? Nomeo, what's up? Let him in is Ryan. That's our buddy Ryan. The Wendigo guy. Blue Crossroads, rock out. It's a victory Friday for me. Texans over Bills last night. I'm boycotting the NFL. Not much of a boycott because I'm only not going to watch the Super Bowl, but the Wendig Walker who's always eating Cheetos and coffee. I mean, if you can eat coffee, more power to you. You're only seeing messages from people with channel names. You know what? I had to do this myself this week because of Steven's absence. And like I said in the beginning, StreamYard changed a lot. So I will look into what's going on there. Because you also all have different colors, which is something different. And then it's showing me next to Mark, Tennille, and someone else is like this little rectangle. I will try to figure it out. But my point of all that, Ryan, was just reach out. Like if you need to talk to somebody, even if it's like about whatever, I really don't mind. You have my number. It hasn't changed. All of y'all know I do not talk on the phone unless like literally pew pew to my head. I might consider it, but text me anytime. I'm going to get going. I got my little guy downstairs and I'm old, so I'm ready for bed. But Latro, let me know how to get in touch with you, even if you put it like in the comments, or I'll be here next week. Guys, Tuesday, what are we talking about this Tuesday? I just filmed it today. Oh, we're talking about mysterious vanishings in the wilderness, but they're ones that we've never talked about before. They're not in any of my books, none of that. So guys, I love you all. Thank you all for coming in. I hope to see you again next Friday. Don't forget to check out Tuesday night's video. Like I said, I know the ending cut off like 3 times in the last 7 videos. I'm working on it. I'm doing the best I can. I will be here next Friday, Lord willing, and hopefully with nothing crazy going on where I wouldn't be streaming. But again, always check the YouTube shorts for something that says updates, because if I weren't streaming, that is where I would put it. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm not actually old. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm going to enjoy my first Saturday since August with absolutely nothing to do. And yeah, thank you all so much. And don't forget to donate if you can to PayPal and Cash App. PayPal is, I'm putting it in now. Oh, no, I wasn't. I was just zooming in on my face. There's PayPal. And Cash App is just hashtag. I'm used to Steven doing this. GemmaJadeYT. All right, guys. I love you. I'll see you on next Friday. And in the YouTube shorts, support those if you can tolerate them and handle them. And handle the swagger. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys. Bye. Yeah, Netter, I have to change it. Thanks. 301. Because when I first made the PayPal account, I did not intend on using it for YouTube. So it's not just that, but it's also my birth date as well. So got to switch that. But then I'm afraid to switch it because it's been that way the entire time I've been on YouTube. So I'm like, someone's going to try to send me something. And of course, it's going to be changed. So we're working on that. Love you guys. Good night.